Hello everyone, how you all doing? In this video we're going to be looking at an analysis of AU to JPY. Currently you're looking at my weekly time frame. As we can see, the market appears to be moving in a range. Right? And just knowing this already gives us a clue as to what the market might do. Already gives us a clue as to where the market is going, because in a range moves in ups and down. Let's assume this is a range, right? And the market is in a range, it moves from one end to the other. So it moves from the bottom to the top, back, down, up, down. It just keeps trading within this range. Alright, it just keeps trading within this range. And that's what we see AUD JPY doing. And if the market moves from this range, this point, from this resistance to the support, and it has moved back to the resistance and has moved back to the support, where do you think the market will be going to? It's going back to the resistance. Right. So all we need to do right now is just position ourselves for a good trade. We already know where the market is headed. We just need to position ourselves for a good trade. But if you look closely, you'll also notice the market is moving in an upward trend. More recently, it's been moving in an upward trend. This was the original. I think I should change this to blue. I'm taking it so it could be more visible. And bam, cool. Alright. So that was the first trend line, but it got broken at this area. More like a fake out. Now, when we saw this, we weren't quick to trade because this was sometime in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, cool. 2022. Yes, 2022. So we didn't immediately rush to place a sell trade because you obviously noticed that the market was sitting on a support area in between the range. It was sitting on a support area, so we had to wait for the market to either break the area and confirm to us that area has really been broken before entering a sell trade, or watch the market react from there. And the market reacted from there upwards, and we now have to readjust this trend line like this. So this is currently moving. The price of AUD JPY is currently moving in an upward trend in the 1 week time frame. And this doesn't surprise us because we expect the market to go back to the resistance. Go to the 4-hour time frame. Just quickly get rid of this and get rid of this as well. So this is where we are. The market has tested this support area, confirmed it's ready to move, and then started gliding up. If we draw our trend line like so, if you draw the trend line like this, you will notice what the market has done right now. This gives us a clue already of what the market has done and might do next. One of the things you will notice is that the price has broken the trend line to the downside. Now this is significant. I'll tell you why. When the market moves in between zones, sometimes we already know, we've already established the fact that market moves from zone to zones. The price moves from one zone to another, from a support to a resistance, from a resistance to a support, and vice versa. Just that way. Now, in between two zones, there are some currency pairs. This is very important. Now you should pay attention. In between two zones, there are some currency pairs that respect the 50% of those zones. For example, let me show you something on the weekly time frame. Show you something quickly on the weekly time frame, what I'm talking about. There are also some other pairs that don't respect the zones, the 50% of the zone. All right, now let's take a look at this. All right, let's say from okay, let's take it from this bottom. Now you'll notice how the market's moved from here. We know it's moving from zone to zone, so we would expect it to move from here to here, right? But no, instead it moved from the bottom to the 50% of the zone, came back down, and then went above it. Alright, I'll show you another scenario, just hold on. Going up, it did the same thing, went up, got to the 50%, came back down, went up, came here, still got close to 50%, came back down again. So see how it's respecting the 50% of the zone. It did the same thing here. So instead of placing your trade right here and expecting the market to go just directly, you could add some more profits and move the market from here to the 50%, take your profits and watch how it reacts. If it gives you hints that it wants to reverse, you take another trade back to, like, you already know where the market is going. You can take another trade back to the previous zone, and so on and so forth. Right? So having this at the back of our minds, we see how the market has been respecting the 50% of the area. Now this doesn't work with all currency pairs. You're going to have to do your back test to be sure if it works on that pair you want to trade. Now it works on AUD JPY. So this green line indicates my 50%. This green line indicates my 50%. Right, so once the market hits there, I like to exit my position. And watch how the market reacts from there. And as you can see, the market around that area started retracing until it eventually broke here. So this gives me a clue that this market is not willing to go up just yet. It's not willing to go as high as this yet. It's not willing to go as high as that yet. So what I can do is to position myself for a sell trade back to this area. Now, how do we position ourselves for such a trade? I'll show you. You're going to have to wait for retracement. Allow the market to move, and once it retraces and breaks the counter trend line, you jump in. So that's what we did. That's what we're going to do for this. Let me get rid of this line. So we know it has broken it, and then it started retracing from here. Started creating higher highs. Let me show you. So from here it started creating lower lows, lower low, lower low, lower low, right? And then something changed here. Went up, couldn't go down, created a higher high, created a higher low, went up, created a higher high, a higher low. You get, so it's beginning to retrace. Now once it creates the first higher high, 1, 2, 3, once it breaks that level, I know there's a retracement that's going on. Right, and then I draw my trend line and be ready for a trade. I just wait for the price to break it. Now it has broken at this point, right? But why didn't we take the trade? This is why. If we put our entry here, where are we going to put our stop loss? It has to be here, and that's too far. So looking at that, so it's not just a good reward to risk for us. It's not enticing. You get it? It's not enticing. So instead of jumping into that kind of horrible trade, we'll rather wait for another opportunity, and that the market has given us right here, right at this level, right, this break there. So we put our entry. Now we can put our stop loss in a better position and then trade it down. So this is a more juicy trade compared to the previous. You get it? Now, so long as this market is below this highest point it's hit, the price is going to go down. There are not two ways about it. So long as it stays below this point, that highest point, the price is definitely going to go down. So we just keep positioning ourselves for a sell. But the moment we notice the price has broken above, the moment we notice the price breaks above here, then we can position ourselves for a buy. The same way we positioned ourselves for a sell. We'll wait for a retracement and then we'll wait for the counter trend line to be broken. Right, so this is our bias on AUD/USD. We expect AUD/USD to sell off, to fall a little bit lower. Now, because there is nothing that's certain in this market, we like to take some profits once we get to the 1:2 risk to reward ratio at this point. So once the market gets there, once the market gets to this point, I'm going to be taking some profits, and then once I've taken some profits, I can now lock my loss, move stop loss to break even, like this, and allow the rest of the trade run risk free up until here. If it doesn't eventually get here, because it's supposed to be going up, right? We expect to remember the original movement is upwards, and we expect it to be headed to the next resistance level. So if it is not able to come to the next support, fine, we already took some profit on that. We already moved our bridge stop loss to break even. You get, so it's a win-win for us. So we'll be watching the market. Our position is already open at the VIP channel. Link will be in the bio description on the bottom. So you could quickly hop in and join on the trade. So we'll see you guys in the next video. I hope this was helpful.